Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mix. We're up to episode 7 of our FM20 beta series with Atletico Madrid. It is pretty much finishing off from where we were in that last episode, of course, playing a final Group League game against Istanbul in the Champions League. We have been knocked down into the Europa League competition last episode, and we had a tasty little draw. We've got Young Boys, which is just, I'm thinking that one back in my head, and it's already a horrific sentence to say, but we should do alright in that competition. We did have one game between the finish of the group stage and the draw, a 0-0 draw against Getafe. After that game, we've had a 3-week break for the winter break in Spain, which means we haven't had any games. There are quite a few players that went away on international duty during that period. We've also tried to give rest to a couple of the players that were potentially struggling for form, fitness, whatever else. And we've had one game since we returned, beating Celta Vigo 2-0, Vitolo and Diego Costa getting the goals in that one. A very comfortable win and a good performance from the team. We are now unbeaten in our last 12 competitive matches. There are quite a few draws in there, though, which is a little bit frustrating, but things are still going quite well. We're sitting 47 points, top of the division, level on points with both Real Madrid and Barcelona after 18 games. They both have more positive goal differences than we do. However, our head-to-head records are quite good. We've had a 2-2 draw with Real Madrid and beat Barcelona 3-1. Despite returning from winter break, though, we're not currently in Spain. We are currently in Saudi Arabia, and as tempted as I was to get in the traditional Saudi Arabian garb, I thought it was best that I didn't. I still haven't quite figured out how we qualified for the Supercopa de España, but we are playing against Valencia, which makes me think it might have been the top 4 teams that finished in the Liga last season. Switch over to our regular view now because we want to jump pretty much straight into that game against Valencia. If we're going all the way to Saudi Arabia, if we're going into this tournament, I'd at least like to try and win it. We know the board's a little bit upset with me because I didn't make the quarterfinals as planned of the Champions League. We could still do well in the Europa League and actually kind of get some of that back. But the expectation is that we reach the final, as is for the Copa del Rey, which kicks off in a couple of weeks. If we can get through to the final of the Supercopa, it might give us a little bit more board confidence. But they've said here it's not an important competition to them. Really, we should be focusing on the league and getting a points gap as quickly as we can, because those other two sides, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they just don't drop points. It's so incredibly frustrating. If we do lose this game, it's pretty much just going to be one game for the episode. If we win it, we might go through and do the final in this episode as well. I made a couple of tactical tweaks since we came back from the winter break. Just looked at pretty much just the analysis tabs, kind of having a look at what things we were doing well, what things we weren't doing that well. So I've changed up a couple of different things relating to our player roles, just to get a little bit different response out of everybody. And if we look at the Celta Vigo game, we actually played not phenomenally well, but pretty well. Getting good touches in the opposition area, working it wide into wide areas pretty well. Our final third entries were pretty good. They're from a variety of areas of the pitch, which is what we want to see. They're not all just long balls into one corner or favouring one side or whatever else. But to do that, we have altered a couple of things. We're leaving the backline pretty much as it has been, with the complete wing-backs on support. Both Grimaldo and Fasalco have now staked their claim for those regular starting spots. Fasalco, of course, returning from a long-term injury, has done great. We're changing to inside wingers and the wide positions just because I kind of want to test them out. They're a new role for this forward position. It was previously back here at left mid and right mid that you could do it. I now want to see what it looks like as the forward. João Felix already comfortable in that role. Vitolo is pretty good at it as well. We're going to leave them on attack, and we're just going to see how it works out. Worst case scenario, if we see any downturn in form, we'll just switch back to inside forwards. Or we might even test out advanced playmakers in wide positions. We might use a Ram Deter on the right. Anything could happen. Because of that, we've moved Diego Costa to be back to a supporting complete forward. We might actually start rotating him with Morata a little bit more regularly, just until we get a decent run of form. And we've also changed Saul to be a box-to-box midfielder. We had a deep line playmaker on defend, a deep line playmaker on support. It was working really well for us, but in reality now what I think we want is to try and get someone joining the attack a little bit more, getting into the box more regularly and getting 4 men committed forward to try and find the finish rather than just the 3. If it doesn't work, we will revert to what we were doing previously, which has gotten us so far. But Saul, you can see here, 4.5 star player, he's very comfortable in that role. He's got a lot of the key traits for a box-to-box. We want to try and make the most of that, so we're going to try and make that slight adjustment. Fingers and toes crossed, it does well for us this game against Valencia, but if it doesn't, we can do a bit of a review and potentially go back to what we were doing previously. Looking at the two lineups, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. We did play them a couple of weeks ago in the league. We won 2-1. They made one man change from that one. Is Lee Kang-gin, phenomenal 18-year-old South Korean prospect. He is natural across a variety of positions. If you're looking for a really versatile squad player that you'll hold on to for the next 12 to 13 years, pick him up, because if you do your own long-term series and you're in the Premier League, you will definitely see him come in at some point. I think he finished our #United series at Chelsea, playing for them as like a 31, 32-year-old. Phenomenal talent, fantastic player, already made a good amount of Valencia first-team appearances and scored goals as well. Looked very much a prospect for the future. They got Jose Guy, who we looked at during the off-season. Daniel Vaz is a good wing-back as well. Rodrigo and Guedes, the Portuguese and Spanish internationals, respectively. And Gomez up top. It's a very good team, so we will do very well to beat them. But passionately, we're going to say, you deserve to be in the final. I expect you to make it happen. No one cares, so assertively, we'll just say to the defence, well done. And still no one gives a shit. I've reloaded the game, and it's all gone to pot. Anything could happen from here. First highlight, Danny Pereira to take a deep free kick towards Gabriel back stick, and thankfully he's hit the crossbar and it clips away. Back out to Guedes, and he was offside, which is pretty much the best result that we could have hoped for. Deep throw in here, Vasalco to take. He's going to reset through Felipe into Koke. Crossfield switch out to Grimaldo. Can we work a 2v1 out here? Instead, back into Saul. He coughs the ball up. Kang-in resets for a crossfield switch. Out to Rodrigo now. Deep ball across towards Guedes. Someone's got to get to him. Gaia with the deep ball, back towards Rodrigo. It's a good header from the top of the box. I think he's offside, and I think that's why the assistant has stayed there. I've got to fix up my view a little bit. There we go. Hang on, one more. There we go. Now we can see the assistant again. Vasalco comes forward to Vitolo, who's having an excellent season. Crossfield switch towards João Felix. We've got a 2v1 if we work it correctly. Out to Grimaldo now. Deep ball across. Garay heads it away, but only as far as Saul. Vasalco. Back to Koke. Back to Felipe. Vasalco again, can work a 2v1 on the right. If we find the right pass, it's a poor one. Gaia will cover. Parejo now into Gabriel. Long ball forward towards Guedes. Kang-in coughs it up in the middle. Saul will recover. Find Koke. Vitolo's got a hole in behind. Can he find the finish now from a wide area? It's a good save from Silerson, and he pushes it out for a goal kick. So good high press. As soon as we lost possession, we worked hard to recover it as quickly as possible. Koke with the corner now towards Hermoso. Into Koke again. Short one to Saul. Back to Koke. Backstick run for Diego Costa, gets his strike away, and Silerson does very well again. I still haven't done anything with our set piece routines, and I really should dedicate like an episode coming up to getting those sorted. Koke with the ball forward. Savage now, back to Koke from the corner. There was a man backstick, but they managed to scramble it away, and someone was offside. Oh no, highlight's still going. Hermoso just gave up on the ball then, that was weird. 30 minutes gone, we use our get creative shout. Most players have responded inspired by the feedback, which is what we need. Hermoso, deep free kick, played forward to Saul. Out wide now to Rodrigo, the counter-attack's on, they've recovered in a good position. Parejo now. Switch out to the overlapping Jose Guy, someone's got to go to the ball. They do now, Felipe with a tackle, and they're going to go and have a look at VAR, which usually means it's a penalty, and they've given it. So it's going to be Parejo to take. I think he's a pretty good penalty taker. And Oblak with an excellent save, gets down to his left-hand side, keeps that one out. Saving us so far in this one in Saudi Arabia. Valencia managing the heat better than we are. Ball towards Gabriel. Rodrigo puts it back in. Savage clears away. It pinballs around in there. Oblak does very well to push that one around for a corner. It could have gone anywhere. And it's going to be Jose Guy to take the corner. We've left two men forward. There might be a counter-attack on if we get it out into the right spaces. Comes out to Guedes now. Lee Kang-in to Coughlin, ex-Arsenal junior. He's facing the wrong way. Played it back to Guy right, and the highlight ends. I'm really not liking that it doesn't show you the kickoff in the end half or end game highlights. It's really frustrating just to go back into the menu. I wish that was a setting you could turn back on. 11 shots, 6 on target, 62% possession for Valencia. We've been on the back foot, 6-3 and 38%, and they've had the majority of the highlights as well. Assertively, let's just sell everyone. This is a great opportunity to show the pundits. They've been right to back you up. A couple of players have responded positively to that. But, as we always do, we'll give it 15 minutes, and then we'll look at maybe changing a couple of the subs and seeing if we can get a bit of a better performance out of everyone. Deep ball across. Vasalco makes a kind of clumsy challenge on Guedes, and he's been sent straight off, a straight red for a 2-footed lunge. That's going to put us in a shit position. What should we do? Should we go to 2 at the back? Go after it a little bit? Felipe has not played well. The bigger issue is that I don't really have anybody who can play as the right wing back. Maybe we put Saul there. He can do it. He doesn't like it, but he can do it. Go to 1 in midfield, where we're getting overrun anyway. Yeah, let's do that, but then let's also bring on Renan Lodi. Let's also take off Felipe for Jose Jimenez, who's been working his way back from injury. That's why I didn't start today. And let's just passionately say, looking for you to make the difference, and we'll hold on to that last sub for the last half an hour or so, or last 10 minutes or so, I mean. They have had the most of it, but their highest rated player is their goalie, which is interesting. Corner now, Koke to take. Silerson comes out and claims well. They've only got one man forward, but they are breaking way quicker than we're getting back in position. Daniel Vast now, out wide to Rodrigo. Skips past one challenge, switch out to Guedes. Saul with a good tackle. Gives the ball straight back though. Guedes to Parejo. Crossfield switch to Vast. Need to recover a little bit here. Coughlin to Vast again. Back to Coughlin. Vast, Coughlin, Parejo. Overlapping run now, Vast. Lee Kangian. Squares it to Parejo at the top of the box. Squares it to Gomez, and thankfully his drive is just wide. Let's use our get creative shout. Everyone seems inspired again. We just need to try and poke one finish home, and we'll be on our way. I really don't want to go to extra time. It's not the way that I want to come back. Going to Saudi Arabia, where it's going to be super hot, going to extra time is going to kill us a little bit. In the other game, Barcelona beat Real Madrid. They beat them in extra time, so we know that kind of does add to your conditioning training a little bit. Ball out wide now to Renan Lodi. Deep ball across towards João Felix. He's gotten in behind. Can he find the finish now? He does. It's pretty much a direct straight ball from Renan Lodi. Finds João Felix. Does very, very well to bring it down. And finds the finish past the on-rushing goalkeeper for his 8th goal of the season. It's a very simple play here. Oblak with a good ball forward towards Renan Lodi. And then a long ball across. João Felix does very well to bring it down. Carries it into the 18-yard box, waits for the goalkeeper to come out, get his angle sorted, and then passes it around him. Can we now hold on for the last 10 minutes? We might also look at that last sub. Vitolo's not playing that well, so let's bring on Lamar. Or actually, let's not do that. Let's take off Diego Costa because he's on a yellow card. And let's just say, I think there's a lot more to come from you. We've recovered the ball here. Someone's coming forward. Guedes was offside. And we're just going to use our demand more shout as well. Just to try and focus the team for the last 15 minutes or so. Or sorry, for the last 4 minutes of injury time because it's flown by. There's going to be one more throw in here for Valencia. Gaia to take. We're through 1 minute of the added 4. Deep ball across. Hermoso flicks it away, but it's only going to go to Guedes again. Just stand him up. Don't do anything silly. He squares the ball to Vast. Puts it into Rodrigo. And thankfully his header was never challenging. Alright, is this the final highlight? Ball forward to Murata from the throw-in. Renan Lodi into João Felix, the goal scorer. Back to Koke at the top of the box. Can he find the strike? Ball out wide now to Saul. Into Vitolo. Square strike. Doesn't go anywhere in particular. Ball to Vitolo again. Cuts it back for João Felix. It's the 2nd goal of the game for the wonder kid. 9th goal of the season for him. He's been excellent. Haven't really seen much difference from his performances, whether he's playing as an inside forward or playing as an inside inverted winger. But it's a good finish. We just worked the ball around quite well here, not forcing anything, not committing too early to the challenge. Good ball back from Vitolo and a good first-time finish at back post from João Felix. Keeper couldn't get across in time, and that should be enough to get us through 2-0. Have we been the best side? Probably not. They've looked dangerous in a variety of highlights, but the game ends. After that red card, we did very, very well. 2 counter-attacking goals to win 2-0. 27 shots, 12 on target, 61% of the ball for Valencia, 12, 7 and 39 for us. We're going to tell the team, you've done it, you're in the final, congratulations. And we're going to be playing Barcelona in the final. 10-man Atletico Madrid, triumph against the odds. João Felix, of course, getting the Man of the Match award. I'm going to send my assistant to go and do the the press conference. We're going to play Barcelona in a couple of days, so we might give everyone a rest day. We're going to issue a warning for Vasalco, his first red card of the season. And we'll praise Felix's performance. Superb in front of goal last time. And everybody else can go to hell. So we've got David Silva is going through on the Wednesday, the 1st of July. He's one of the players that we're going to bring in. I don't think we can buy him now. They want 20 million euro. We don't have it. So one of the things that we did do, and I can't remember if I spoke about this in the last episode or not, is we're pushed on the 2 guys that were upset, which were George Herando, the young centre-back, and Hector Herrera, who was also upset about his playing time. He's already moved on to Bordeaux, essentially. Unfortunately, Diego Lorenzo has also moved on, which is a bit of a pain. He was a decent-looking poacher up top. He had high potential, but he's made the decision that he wants to leave. But we do still have a good few under-19s that have some high potential that we might potentially look to bring in next season to be squad players. Nguyen Perez, I'm probably butchering that. German Valeria, Camelo, he looks like he might be an okay player. Or we'll loan them out for a season, see if they can get some first-team experience and bring them back in after that. But we are effectively down to a squad of 20. Just going to try and keep it like that until the end of the season. But again, I've gotten off track. I've got more than enough talking from me. Let's give everyone that started, or everyone that we expect to start in the next match. Trippier will come in at right wing back for the suspended Vasalco. And let's just give each of these guys that started the game 1 day's rest, just so they can get back to full form and fitness. Will Jimenez be back in time? He is. He's going to be back in one day, so we'll put him back in there as well. And now Magic of Editing would jump forward to the Supercopa final in Saudi Arabia against FC Barcelona. And just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. They are, of course, playing a standard 4-3-3 shape. Busquets will anchor their midfield. Vidal and De Jong in the midfield too that they've gone with. Griezmann on the left wing, Messi on the right, Suarez up top. It's a pretty formidable looking front three there. Sergio Roberto we did look at early in the season, trying to bring in at that right wing back spot, but you just can't get him away, and he seems to be playing quite a bit in their team. Naturally box-to-box midfielder, but you can see like a very solid right wing back option. We might look at him again in the transfer window, in the off-season during the summer, see if he wants to come across, but I doubt we're going to be able to drag anyone away from FC Barcelona or Real Madrid in the near future. Ansu Fati's the other one that we're going to keep an eye on. 17-year-old wonder kid. Looks to be quite the prospect in the game. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for him in the next few years, in the actual game years, to see if he actually turns into kind of like a world superstar. And I dare say we'll get an image for him relatively soon in some sort of squad pack update. The only change we're making, Trippier coming in, Jimenez coming in as well. We're going to leave everything else as it was from the semi-final and see if our continued tactical tweaks can actually get us past Barcelona as well. Team talk, we're just going to tell everybody passionately. Many of you giving you a lot of credit. Everyone seems to respond positively to that. And we've beaten Barcelona once this season. We are at a neutral venue. We'll have to see if we can follow that up. We do play them away in the next few weeks as well. Koke with a deep corner. Costa does very well. It comes back out again. Is there a counter-attack on here? Sergio Roberto is bringing the ball forward. Great crossfield switch towards Lionel Messi, who gets through 1v1, and thankfully Oblak does very, very well. It was a phenomenal ball there from Roberto. Deep ball now from Messi towards De Jong, and he's managed to power ahead of home. Frankie De Jong, his 4th goal of the season. We'll check it out in 3 dimensions. It was a wicked ball into a dangerous area. Keeper couldn't come, and that left-footed player taking it from the right-hood side. It's always curling back towards goal. Disappointed with Koke's marking there. Potentially could have done better. And we really should always have a central defender challenging from a header at any set piece. That's the way that we're set up. Roberto's picked up a yellow card for them. We've had Grimaldo pick one up for us, so it looks to be a little bit spiteful. Throw in now. Vitolo was in the area. It's going to come back out to Koke. Now back to Jimenez. Crossfield switch out to Hermoso. Got a 2v1 on the left if we work it correctly. Grimaldo now with the ball. Comes forward. Can he get a deep cross in? Saul with a strike from distance. And keeper scrambled for a moment, but it always looked pretty much too high for the goal. 30 minutes gone, we're going to use our Get Creative shout. We need to go after it a little bit and try and bring back a goal. They're smashing us in terms of possession, but you kind of expect that with the way that they play. And we get through to half-time, 1-0 down. 2 bookings for us, 1 for them. We've had 8 shots, 4 on target, and 41% of the ball. They've had 8 shots, 7 on target, which is a phenomenal conversion rate, and 59% possession. Let's go and tell everyone aggressively. Show me something else in the second half. A few players have responded positively. I don't think the formation's doing horribly. It was a set piece that we conceded from. We haven't exactly conceded a ton of opportunities, but we haven't actually made that many of our own. João Felix, good ball to Saul. Can he find the finish? Oh, that's what we wanted to see from him now. He's made that box-to-box transition, getting into the box a little bit more. And couldn't find the finish there, but got into a good area. Koke with the corner. Back now to Trippier. Crossfield switch, and the highlight comes to an end. Highlight here, Jimenez with a deep free kick, played into Koke. Jimenez forward to Vitolo. Crossfield switch out towards João Felix. Saul's made the run forward. Played into him now. Can he square it up? Instead he goes to strike himself. 6th goal of the season from him. Didn't have a lot to aim at that near post, but he's managed to pretty much smack that one into the top corner. Let's check it out in 3 dimensions and see if it was a good finish or if it is a bit of a keeper mistake in terms of his positioning. Good ball to João Felix. Good full pushing on run from Saul from midfield. Takes the touch into the box. Smashes that one high into the top corner. Keeper just kind of rolled over the other way. We've got ourselves that equaliser with about half an hour to play. There's an immediate highlight, which is always a concern. Lenglet with the ball at the back. Now to Vidal. No one's going to him in midfield. He gets to pick out a pass towards Messi on the right-hand side. He's going to skip past one challenge. Look for Griezmann back post. He's hit the base of the post, I think it was. Cut it back. Savic managed to get it away. Only as far as Sergio. De Jong's going to put it back in. Thankfully, the highlight gets brought to an end. They've got a throw in here. We're just going to watch it and then we're going to look at our subs. Suarez now with the ball. Jordi Alba, back to Lenglet, into your De Jong. Nice little passing triangles in midfield. It's what you expect to see from Barcelona. De Jong now with a crossfield switch to the overlapping Roberto. Hacked away. João Felix now, he's got goal side of the wing back. Square ball to Koke. Switches out to the right towards Trippier. Can we get forward now? Good crossfield switch out to Grimaldo. Just get the ball in the box, boys. Squares it to Felix. Back to Grimaldo again. Deep cross. Lenglet heads away. Koke at the top of the box. Gets a drive and it's just wide. So good to counter-attack. Who's struggling the most? I'm a bit concerned about the 2 yellow cards we've got here. So we're going to bring on Felipe for Hermoso and bring on Renan Lodi for Grimaldo. I just don't want to go down to 10 men. I have faith in you. Get out there and make the difference. We're going to hold on to that last sub for the last 10 minutes or so because this might go to extra time. Deep free kick in again. Someone's offside. Not sure who it was. I think it was Suarez. They're going to go have a look at VAR and they've ruled it out. So again, Messi with a free kick and they found the back of the net. So there's definitely a danger there. We're going to use our get creative shout. They've got the ball here again in a counter-attacking opportunity. PK across to Lenglet. I know nothing about Lenglet either. It's really the first I've seen of him in any sporting game thus far. Messi's gotten forward and thankfully Oblak equal to it and pushes it around the near post. Bit different from Barcelona. A ball from a centre-back all the way forward to the striker, but you'd try and get Messi the ball as early as you can. Oblak now with the goal kick. The game's definitely sprung to life here in the second. Forward to Vitolo. Ball towards Diego Costa. He's gotten in behind one. He's got not much of an angle. Just hold the ball up, Diego. Cuts it back to Villarreal Felix, and that's his third goal of the episode. 10th goal of the season. Absolutely fantastic from the young player. And he's definitely thriving in this inverted winger on attack instruction. It's very good play from Diego Costa, to be fair. I know there's no audio control, but he did hold the ball up, like I said, and that's an excellent finish arriving at the back post. And he peels off towards the corner flag, praising the sky in Saudi Arabia. All right, and now he's picked up an injury. Of course he has. So what have we got? We've got Lamar or Robert. We'll go with Robert. He's a right-footed player, or maybe we should go with Lamar. Let's bring on Lamar, but then let's switch his sides with Vitolo, who's not had a good game, but he's a little bit better suited to that left-hand side role. Lamar, obviously being a left-footed player, would be better suited to the right, cutting in. Passionately, let's say I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. And there's about 15 minutes remaining. So let's use our demand more shout and see if we can get ourselves our first piece of silverware in this series with a win and 5 more minutes. That's all we have to last for. Lamar now coming forward. Switch out towards Renan Lodi. Can we work a 2v1 here? Steps inside, finds Saul. Out wide to Renan Lodi. Can he get the deep ball in? Instead he tries to go around the man. Cuts it back. Lenglet heads away. De Jong heads away to Messi. He tries a flick on header, which is never really on. Felipe to Saul. Out to Lodi. Back to Saul again. Busquets has won the ball back. De Jong now comes forward. Messi with the crossfield switch towards Griezmann, who has gotten goal side. Is he going to score against his old club? He has his 8th goal of the season. Griezmann, and he's celebrating like a piece of shit. So, no respect. None whatsoever. And sees us go 2-2 in Saudi Arabia. And potentially going through to extra time. It's a good ball from Messi on his wrong foot. Griezmann brings it down on his thigh. Bursts into the box and smashes that one home near post. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better. But in reality, I can't be mad at Oblak. He's kept us in this one a couple of times now. 5 minutes to be added on. We're in the 90th minute now. Oblak's going to reset from a goal kick. Forward to Jimenez. Long ball forward to no one in particular. Busquets will recover. Rakitic has come off the bench. Out wide now to Jordi Alba. He looks to try and beat the keeper from a wide area. And scrambled for a moment, but looked like he had it covered. Ball forward. Lenglet. Rakitic. Crossfield switch out towards Nelson Semedo, who's come off the bench. Deep ball across. It never really looked like it was troubling the goal. But they're definitely on top here in the last few minutes. They're going after it a little bit. 30 seconds remaining. We're going to see a highlight here. Lamar with the ball. Back to Jimenez. Ball over the top towards Diego Costa, who does well to bring it down. He's got men around him. If he can find the right pass. Finds Lamar now. Can he find the finish? And it's a poor effort in truth. Just wide of the post when he couldn't really get it on target. So we're going to extra time, it looks like. 2-2 draw in the end. Frankie de Jong and Griezmann with the goals for Barcelona. Saul and Felix with the goals for us. We did well to come back in the second half and go ahead. We had 13 shots, 7 on target, 41% of the ball. They had 21, 13 to 59. They really did put us under pressure for quite a bit of that game. Passionately, let's say, don't let this slip away now. You've been the better team. Pull out the Stevie G. Famous last words, of course. Jordi Alba's picked up his 4th yellow card of the season. They've used all 3 subs as well, so we're all going to be in a similar scenario in this extra time portion. Keep in mind they did also play extra time against Real Madrid in their first game, so hopefully our fitness might be a little bit better than theirs. Saul recovers the ball. Diego Costa now loses out to Lenglet. De Jong, good ball out to Nelson Semedo again. Lodi just needs to stand him up. He's recovered the ball back very well and played it forward to Vitolo, who can step inside and find Saul. Good crossfield switch out to Lamar. We've got a 2v1 if we work it correctly. Instead he goes out the other side when we really didn't need to. PK goes back to Nito in goal. Forward to De Jong. Long ball forward towards Griezmann, who's gotten in behind again. Very similar to where he got his goal. That was poor play from Lamar. We had 3 players on the right with their 1, and he looked for a crossfield switch way too early. Messi with the corner now. Ball towards PK. It's headed away. Saul gets it to the top of the box. Rakitic first time pass out to Messi. Back in towards Suarez. Lodi gets it out. Now Lamar on the counter. No, and the highlight comes to an end. All right, half time of extra time. They are starting to take a bit of command with it. You can see from their match ratings here. Lots of 7.1, 7.2s. Oh no, that's us. What am I talking about? Messi with a 9 match rating and 2 assists. Frankie de Jong 7.6. Griezmann 8.6. Umtiti's come off with a 7.2. We have more stable match ratings, so we're coping with the entire game a little bit better. But Messi on a 9.0 is a bit of a concern. They've got a couple of 55s, 47s, whatever else in terms of fitness. Hopefully, we should have enough in this last 15 minutes to push on a little bit and get a winner. I'm going to use the Go Creative shout, which might be a bit risky. We have got a highlight here. Rakitic with a very deep area for a ball. Jordi Alba's now playing as a left winger. Rakitic again, no one's going to him, so he's just keeping the ball. He's waiting for that off-the-shoulder run. Jordi Alba presents now. He gets into the box, and thankfully, it's a defender's finish, and he puts it one out for pretty much a throw-in. We will take the goal kick, though. 10 minutes remaining in extra time. We've used our Get Creative shout. They've got a highlight here, but Lamar's picked up the ball in an excellent area and skips past one challenge, and now a second. Bursting forward, finds Diego Costa in the area. Can he find the finish? The ball's been tackled from him, but it's gone with Diego Costa's goal. His 13th of the season. A wonderful assist from Thomas Lamar. He might have heard me criticising that crossfield switch earlier, and he's come up with the goods there. Picked up the ball in his own half after winging it back. Burst into space. Waits for a central defender to commit before laying it in behind. Diego Costa just gets the tiniest little touch to it after De Jong's tackle. And thankfully Nito had came out a little bit early and we managed to scramble that one home. Yes, we're going to proceed with the tactical change. Ball out to Lamar now. Can he keep it in? He does very well. Deep cross towards Saul. Out to Cocaine now at the top of the box. Someone goes through the back of him. It's Jordi Alba, and he's on a yellow card. Is he going to pick up a second and go down to 10 men? They are indeed. So we had a red card in our first cup game. They've now had one in the final with a few minutes remaining. And hopefully that should be enough for us to just get through to the final whistle. Having said that, they've got the ball now. Samito comes forward. Vitolo with a good tackle. Koke out wide to Lamar, who's been excellent since he came off the bench. Ball towards Vitolo, back stick, cuts it back for Saul. Now to Lamar. Oh, that was his chance to get the goal. The sealer. Why is it asking me this? I didn't do any tactical changes. So I'm not sure why it was asking. And no one scored. That's the other portion. So we've got the win in the end, a 3-2 victory. I don't know what's going on there. We missed all of that. 21 shots, 10 on target, 42% possession. They had 28, 16 and 58, but they finished the game with 10 men, and that's really what killed them in the end. Dressing room, let's passionately tell everybody, you've done brilliantly to come back and win that. I'm proud of you. Everyone's responded positively. We're nearly getting everyone back up to full morale, which is what we're trying to do. Let's go and have a look at our first trophy of the series. Atletico Madrid lifts Supercopa. Messi gets the Man of the Match award. He's very, very good. 2 assists in that game and a 9.0 match rating. There was never really any expectation for us to win that competition, which is a bit of a bummer. Would have been good to get some faith with the board, but we'll take it. Valverde disappointed by extra time lost. Okay, mate, whatever you say. Let's send our assistant to that because I can't be bothered. 16 medals have been awarded to Atletico Madrid players for their Supercopa success. Quite a few of our first team squad have gotten them. Only 4 in the current squad of 20 actually miss out, which I'm a bit of a disappointment. I'd have rotated a little bit more had I known that. And I'm one of the top Australian managers. Moving into that top 10, it's not the longest list in the world, so you'd hope, fingers and toes crossed, that I could actually get into the first position and beat Ange Postecoglou by the time this series finishes. In the mix, it leads Atletico Club to glory and nobody cares. So the board doesn't really give a shit. We won it, but, you know, it is what it is. Those are the things that happen. Looking forward now, we're going to have a look further in the schedule. We're on a really good unbeaten run at the moment. We've got 2 games against Alaves and Barcelona. We just played Barcelona, so I'm not too worried about that one. Then we've got a Copa del Rey game. But what I'm thinking is we might jump forward and in the next episode do both legs of our young boys matches in the Europa League, our first knockout games. Because if we get through in them, we should also get the draw for the next round and hopefully draw a big team, have a marquee fixture and go from there. And then I'm also keeping an eye on this game against Real Madrid and Athletic Club or Valladolid. We'll figure that one out next time out. But next time, we're going to jump forward a little bit, about a month, play our 2 legs against young boys in the Europa League knockout stages and see if we can continue our progression in European competition while also maintaining our very, very good form in the league as well. As always though guys, I've been Sean. I appreciate you watching so much, like that's the part that means the most to me. If you've got any feedback, chuck it in the comment section below. If you're enjoying the beta save, if you're enjoying your own beta saves, let me know what they are in the comment section. I do respond to every comment that I get. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future episodes as they are continue to be released. If you look over, I always do it the wrong way. If you look over here, you'll see our links to our Twitter, our Twitch page, and the YouTube channel as well. You can follow us on Twitter to be kept up to date. So all our interactions within the community and a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to continue throughout the course of the year. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.